It's California Edition. My name is Brad Pomerance. Our roadshow continues. We are in beautiful Ventura, California, and today we are joined by the mayor of Agoura Hills. His name is Bill Koehler, and I feel like it's a homecoming. I grew up in the Calabasas, Agoura area. Neither city was incorporated, and I remember it so fondly. Talk to us about Agoura Hills, Calabasas over the last, 30 years since I've left.
Oh, there's been a big difference since you've been here, Brad. As I was telling you, Agoura Hills incorporated in 1982.
Right.
So I guess we're a relatively young city. I believe Calabasas incorporated just a few years after that. We're a city of about 21,000 people. We're bisected by the 101 freeway, which has its own challenges.
And it's a beautiful city, and
It
I
is.
remember it so fondly. You told me that Wizen's, the landmark, the shopping center of my childhood, it's not there anymore. Wizen's is gone.
Well, Mr. Wizen is gone,
Right.
but the center is still there, and it's amazing how many people identify that from driving up and down the 101 before it was the 101 even.
I can envision the logo. I mean, it's literally emblazoned in my mind. And I was mentioning to you that I was one of the early classes at Calabasas High School before Calabasas was incorporated. And I remember the address for Calabasas High School was Woodland Hills.
Yeah.
Because there was no such thing as Calabasas.
Yeah.
And so I do know as well that Calabasas, Agoura, a lot of communities in this area are struggling a bit under the weight of the drought. And I want to get a sense from you how a community like yours is managing with water measures in place that are causing conservation.
Yeah, that's a great question, Brad. I mean, obviously this is a statewide concern.
Right.
Recently, I had an opportunity to fly back to Colorado, and in doing so, was flying over Las Vegas and Lake Mead, and seeing Lake Mead, I have never seen it that low.
Can I tell you, I was recently in the Redding area on one of our road shows, and I was taken to see Lake Shasta Dam.
Yes.
It looked like the lunar surface. It was scary. I was actually spooked.
Yeah, there's areas exposed that were never exposed before.
Right.
But as to our community, we get our water through Metropolitan Water District. We are totally dependent on the Metropolitan Water District. It comes both from Colorado River and from the Aqueduct, Northern California. And our water supply is managed by the Las Virgenes Water District. We have endorsed the program that they have implemented, and that is an odd-even watering system. Homes ending in odd numbers, water Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Homes with an even ending number, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, no watering on Sunday. We've also, as a city, have adopted areas that we have gone to drought-tolerant landscaping to try to cut back on water usage, and educational programs for the community, how people can do more with less water.
Let me ask you about compliance, because when I think about Agoura Hills, it's a fairly well-heeled community. And as a result, folks may not be used to, and I'm not criticizing, but may not be used to being told what to do when it comes to watering their beautiful plush lawns. I mean, the beauty of living in Agoura Hills is you have lots of land and you have beautiful grass that's green. How have your residents, your constituents taken to these mandatory measures?
Well, remarkably well.
That's good to hear.
It is amazing. Along with the water district, we have taken on the enforcement of the odd-even plan. And if it is noted that somebody is watering on a day that they're not, that will trigger a letter to them, reminding them that.
Just a letter at this point.
Just a letter. We fortunately have not had to go beyond a letter. And I am finding, as I drive through the community and talking to community members, they really endorse this because I think people recognize that we are in a crisis.
Right. I'm wondering, though, when will it be time, not just for Agoura Hills, but for other municipalities to look at taking a stronger stance against folks that violate these rules? Because look, we've gotten a few sprinkles recently, but it's not what we need. And so, as benevolent as we want to be, in the final analysis, like you said, we're in a crisis. And so is it time to take a firmer stand?
Well, it's twofold. perhaps it's time to take a firmer stand, but it's time to create educational programs and reminding people what can be done to reduce the amount of water. They can go to drought-tolerant planning.
Right. I must ask you if I may, the drought-tolerant plants, 10, 20 years ago, those were seen as, if anyone had those on the front of their yard, maybe the homeowners association would come after you, but now it's gotten, it's like, it's cool, it's hip, it's in season, it's vogue.
I think people have become educated that there are attractive plantings.
Right.
I think when you're talking about some of the early landscape plans, quite frankly, they look like weeds.
Right, that's right.
But now, I mean, there are flowering plants and some very attractive plants that, with some hardscape, can really be an attractive landscape feature.
There are some communities I know, I think Los Angeles as a city, I'm not 100% sure, that will incentivize if you plant drought tolerant. Is Agoura Hills looking at that, or the Las Virgenes Municipal Water District?
Yes, excellent question. They are looking to, or they are incentivizing people changing over. They're also looking to what was once unthinkable, and that is synthetic surfaces.
I was going to ask turf.
Because the turf has gone a long ways from the days of AstroTurf.
Right.
And
looking like miniature golf courses.
Or worse.
Or worse, yeah.
And
those would be nice.
people have started to recognize that maybe in certain areas of my yard, this isn't such a bad idea.
And that's a very good point, the whole notion of certain areas. It's not as if you have to take your entire yard and turn it into artificial turf. But I think of some homes, not a lot of grass may be in the front or the back, whatever it may be. And so in those areas, you can just turn off the water and have some nice looking turf that's not going to really ruin the aesthetic of a beautiful home in Agoura Hills.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody recognizes that we're not going to go from full water consumption to none as far as landscaping. Right. What we're looking for is everybody to do their fair share in cutting back, looking at different ways that they can reduce their water consumption, and collectively that will have an impact.
What's gratifying for so many of us living in Southern California is the statistics bear out, that's a tough one, statistics bear out that we are decreasing our water consumption. I mean, if you look at recent statistics, we are down in SoCal about 7.8% year to date. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, that really shows that the community has come together and said, we need to do something. At the same time, Governor Brown, as you know, he's looking for a 20% reduction. That's tough. Is that a goal that's just really not attainable, or do you believe that, let's keep aspiring and maybe we'll get there?
That puts the bar very high.
Right.
Certainly, I don't see that in the short term, but I think if we look to that as the goal, people will continue to do things that will reduce the amount of water consumption. So if it doesn't reach the 20%, perhaps it'll reach a higher number than what once thought.
I understand also in our final moments, Agoura Hills is looking at a restoration project. Medea Creek it's known as. Tell us about it.
Well, a little bit of history. We are part of what's called the Malibu Watershed District, which incorporates Calabasas, Hidden Hills, Agoura Hills, Westlake Village, and Malibu. And essentially, we have been mandated to clean up the streams as they migrate from Ventura County up around Oak Park through the watershed and into Santa Monica Bay.
But I have to think your residents are behind that. I think about the folks, if you choose to live in Agoura Hills, you're looking for that bucolic state.
People are. The mandates, I will say, though, are very, very high.
It can be tough. I want to thank you for coming. Will you come back when we come back to Ventura?
Sure.
Okay, his name is Bill Koehler. He is the mayor of beautiful Agoura Hills. I'm Brad Pomerance. It's California Edition.